Hi, this is Mrs. Lemke, and I saw in your exit slip today that there were a couple of questions that at least a couple people each asked, and so I wanted to go over those with you real quick. In particular, this was question number 3 on the exit slip, and so I thought I would just talk you through it. Okay, it's important to remember here what exponents mean on a variable, or on anything actually, but these are variables. And so although you probably would not write all of this out eventually, I am going to write it out in this problem just so you understand what's happening. So the x to the third, I wrote x, x, x being multiplied together, 3 x's. And the y to the second, I wrote y, y, 2 y's. Now I'm looking at the 4y to the fifth. That means I have 5 y's multiplied together. And down here I have 4 x's multiplied together, also the number 7. Now when you're multiplying fractions, you can just smush things together. You go straight across the top, straight across the bottom, multiply everything. And you can go in any order. So here 3 times 4 is what makes 12. And 6 times 7 is 42. And now I'm ready to deal with all the numerical parts. Okay, I have all of these x's, which I'm still going to continue to write out just because, like I said, I'm trying to explain where my answer comes from. If I were doing this question, I would not be writing so much, but this is an explanatory video. Okay, so I smushed together the numerical pieces, but I still have all my variables. I have 3 x's on the top, 5 y's on the top, 2 y's on the bottom, 4 x's on the bottom. Now, just like 7 divided by 7 is 1, or 18 divided by 18 is 1, x divided by x is also 1 as long as this x isn't 0, because you can't divide by 0. Okay, so there's going to be some exceptions just to make sure that we stay legal and we aren't dividing by 0. But so long as we can think about that, we can cancel things out, right? So the x here and this x here make a 1. This x divided by this x is 1. This x divided by this x is 1. And I can do that as well for the y's. This y divided by that y, 1. Another 1, that's it. So now if you look at what remains, that part is going to be my answer. Of all of the variables on the top, I have 3 y's multiplied together, or y to the third. And of all the variables on the bottom, I've got x. And then 12 over 42 is something that has a common factor. We call this in day-to-day speech reducing a fraction. That doesn't actually mean you're making the fraction smaller. It just means that you're looking for a common factor. 12 is 6 times 2, and 42 is 6 times 7. So just like where those variables canceled, so too would these 6's cancel. And so I would be left with a 2 on the top and a 7 on the bottom as far as the numerical part. Now, another question that was asked by a couple of your classmates is, how about this whole thing where you have to say what something can't equal? It just boils down to you can't divide by 0. So is there anything that would cause this denominator to be 0? The only thing that would cause the denominator to be 0 is if x were 0. Because then I'd have 7 times 0, which is 0. I'd be dividing by 0. That's not defined in mathematics. So I should say, this is my answer, but x can't be 0. Right? I can't violate that rule of math. Okay, I hope this helped you understand, and I'm glad to see that so many of you were able to answer that you understand this lesson well. Please reach out anytime. I can make a little video like this any day, okay? So tell me where your issues are, if there are any, and I'm glad to help, either by making a little video or by meeting you online, okay? I hope you're well. Bye.